Why has the Office of the Public Protector become the most popular Chapter 9 institution? Was there a proper handover from Advocate Thuli Madonsela to Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane? And why is Mzwanele Manyi saying the state capture report is one-sided? And can the Public Protector alone eradicate the corruption scourge in the country? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane was officially appointed by President Jacob Zuma as the country's new public protector. A fortnight ago, the Public Protector's Office has gained prominence since outgone Advocate Thuli Madonsela assumed office in 2009. Mkhwebane has told Parliament's Justice Committee that she would not source donor funding, and her office would use little or no consultants at all. Meanwhile, the state capture report is under the spotlight following an urgent court action brought by President Jacob Zuma and Cooperative Governance Minister Rooyen. Advocate Mkhwebane says she cannot release the report as it is subjudice. For his part, Decolonisation Foundation founder Mzwanele Manyi says the report should be revised as it is one-sided. We are live, and therefore you can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial 0891104210. My guest today in studio, Mzwanele Manyi. He's a leader of the Decolonisation Foundation, and Leanne Govensami is the head of legal and investigations at Corruption Watch. But before we get into the discussion, let's have a look at the clip by Public Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane.
Which the former public protector prepared. She said it herself that it's a final report. So I don't know whether it's a final report. Remember, it's kept under lock and key. So I wouldn't comment more on that. Issue of provisional report being shared with the respondent. I indicated that to avoid a confrontation or conflict between the Office of the Public Protector with government and respondents, the best way is to share the provisional report.
Okay, that's the new Public Protector there. Let me welcome you to the show, Leanne. Jim. Thank you very much for joining us.
Get used to this.
Oh my God. Okay. Yes. Now, just give us your brief perspective as far as the Public Protector's Office is concerned, and let's talk. Just confine ourselves for now with the outgone Public Protector.
Yeah. No, look, I think the fact that the outgone Public Protector has done what she has done, I think it's actually out of spite, if you ask me, because I think it's important that we understand this report to be a Public Protector report as opposed to a Thuli Madonsela report. Therefore, when an incumbent leaves office, the office is still there. So kind of a situation as if we have an incumbent that says, without me, this is not going to happen. The person that's going to come it's almost like a vote of no confidence to the next incoming Public Protector. So I really think that that departure point by Thuli Madonsela was really spiteful, as it were. Also, the report, as we have said, as a Decolonisation Foundation, that it is one-sided. It's one-sided because everyone that is implicated in the report has been on media to say, give me a chance to have my say. You've got Rooyen who wants to have his say. You've got the Guptas that want to have their say. You've got the president that also even wants to interview some of the witnesses in terms of Section 7 of the Public Protector Act, as it were. So everybody is within their rights, as it were. And finally, it is also incorrect what is in the public discourse that they've had the chance all this time. No, that's not true. The truth is that Thuli Madonsela said that she only gave the president the evidence of all of these submissions on the 1st of October. So basically, you give the president the 1st of October, and then you almost like give the president 24-hour time to respond. And in that response, the president must still fit in however number of witnesses. I mean, it's not practical. In fact, this behavior by Thuli Madonsela actually gives credence to the allegations that she's got a personal and a vested interest in this thing, which makes her quite inappropriate, as it were, as a public protector. That should be distant, that should be impartial.
Okay.
This shows serious partiality.
What should happen to the report?
This report is a public protector report. The current incumbent must look at this report in her own right as the public protector. Should look at this report and satisfy herself that this report is procedurally fair and this report is proper. Now, it cannot be procedurally fair, this report. I know the matter is subjudice, we shouldn't be talking about it, but at a high level, this report can't be procedurally fair because the people that are implicated in the report themselves are claiming not to have been given a chance. Okay. The Guptas, for instance, are saying they even, out of their own volition, not even being subpoenaed, try to volunteer information, but all of this, they seem to be shut out. So for me, for us as a foundation, this is actually not a report. This is a collation of complaints that has been branded a report. This can be a report, such a collation of complaints. Now people must respond to these complaints so that a report is put together. So this thing is far from being a proper report.
Leon?
Look, I must completely disagree with Mzwanele. I think that, firstly, we're not in a position to assess the procedural irregularities of the report. We're not in a position to assess what's in the report because we haven't seen it. I think that the public protector, in terms of the Public Protector Act, can conduct an investigation in accordance with how she sees it expedient to do so, can interview, can conduct an investigation according to the parameters of the Act and in accordance with her kind of discretion within those parameters. And, so the discretion was exercised to want to release the report on a particular date. So it was exercised in order to maybe speed up the process according to expediency. And I would think that in those circumstances, we can't also say that she was spiteful in doing so. I think it's completely incorrect because this issue around state capture, it's an issue of national public interest.
Okay.
And and I also just want to state that, the processes that are available as set out in the recent Constitutional Court judgment on the powers of the public protector allows the state to review the report for procedural irregularities. And that is a process they could have followed instead of this interdict process.
Where was the expediency here?
Look, what I'm trying to say is that we're not really in a position. I'm saying that the public protector, Advocate Madonsela, she was in a position to review the evidence before her, to formulate the report, to finalize the report. And the Act allows her to do so. Okay. She's not acted outside the parameters of the Act. Okay. And I think that in those circumstances, we cannot say somebody is spiteful or somebody has engaged in a particular activity because of a particular agenda. We're not in a position to make that assessment.
But she's pretending as if this is a personal report. This is the problem. She cannot pretend that this is a Thuli Madonsela report. It's not. This is the report of the Office of the Public Protector. Okay. The Office of the Public Protector did not close shop on last week Friday or last week Saturday. That office continues. It's the incumbent that whose term of office has expired. So you can't pretend as if I got to do everything because we're shutting down. There's no shutdown.
Okay, let's take Sian. Sian, you're in Mpumalanga. Welcome. Sian? Okay, we seem to have lost Sian there. A reminder that indeed you can call us and air your views. The numbers are on your screen just now, 089-110-4210, 089-110-4210, and our Twitter handle @QuestionTime24. What do you think of the public protector's report, state capture that is?
You see, the fact that even the courts allowed this interdict is because those that made the representations made sense to the judiciary, and we want to applaud the judiciary for not being populist, as it were. The judiciary has looked at this and said, maybe you have a point, let's hear you out.
Okay.
If the complainants were not making sense, this thing would have been rejected out of hand. The fact that we're even where we are now, it means it's making sense. They say, okay, let's hear you out.
I want to respond to that because the judiciary and the courts are obliged to respond to somebody who has lodged an interdict application. The hearing
they don't have to grant it.
The hearing
they can reject it out of hand.
The hearing will be in order to assess those merits, and I think that that is why they are hearing this matter. And we can't be presumptuous in assuming that it is because they have made a particular decision in one way or the other.
Do you want the report out?
Look, I think that if it is in the public interest, and I believe that it is, then the report should be issued. And it's in the public interest to know what the findings are. And if there are allegations that the findings are incorrect, that there have been procedural irregularities, it's completely open to the state entities involved, anybody who's been affected, to then review the process of the report. And the courts would then also at that point be given an opportunity
Let's take Sizwe. Sizwe is calling us from Pretoria. Sizwe, welcome.
Yes, hello, Paul.
Hi.
Paul, can I have a say around this thing of the public protector?
Go ahead.
You know, what I believe in is that the expiry of Thuli Madonsela's period or time as a public protector is good riddance.
It's good riddance?
It's good riddance.
Okay.
Because if there was no Nganga, if there was no Jacob Zuma, Thuli Madonsela was not going to be famous. What about complaints at the grassroots level? Because she must have been popular around those issues. Not about Nganga, not about Jacob Zuma, only as if the public protector's office is about the president and Nganga. What about other issues?
Okay.
You know, the way in which he handled this state capture issue, this was an indication to say, I want to leave this office having my profile being magnified about the presentation of the report to the public. Because obviously, the state capture would have actually made sure that the opposition party become happy.
Okay.
And their profile is magnified.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sizwe. Thank you very much for that point. Well, you know, the reason why I was asking about the expediency or the agency to release the report is that, for instance, Andile Mngxitama has been camping at Public Protector's office, saying there's a matter since 1993, 1992, 1994 of monies that were stolen or taken.
26 billion.
Yes, 26 billion rand.
There's a CX report on that.
So why don't we, hear about that report where, I mean, there's already a report already on the matter. Why are there no preliminary reports about that?
Look, we obviously not in a position to assess what the workload and what the processes are within the Public Protector's Office in terms of priorities. I would appreciate some respect, Mzwanele, while I'm talking. But what I can say is that when I say expediency, I mean in terms of the Act says she can conduct an investigation in a manner which she deems expedient. And so it is within the parameters of the Act that she's functioning. I'm not saying anything about whether the report is correct or not correct. But it is about the processes, because that's what we're talking about. And I think we really need to get back to the office of the Public Protector as an institution which protects democracy, not make it about individuals in this office.
Okay, let's take Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you are in Rustenburg.
Hello, Mbo, how are you?
I'm well, thanks for the call.
Thank you, man. Listen, Mbo, I want to disagree with the previous caller about the Public Protector issue. Man.
Okay.
Because now, if you look at the case of Nganga and the case of the situation about the president and Claude Mutsweni, those situations will affect a majority of people. But if you take case of grassroots level, when an individual it's not supplied with electricity. It's an individual person who's going to suffer. But now, if Thuli does not expose, like for example, that 1 trillion rand nuclear deal that was supposed to bankrupt the whole country. You see, so I think Thuli was on the point when she exposing things that have a lot of people that are involved or that are going to be affected.
Okay.
So I think it's very good. I want the current public protector to continue protecting us from the thieves that are stealing our resources in the country and bankrupting the country and making us even poorer.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Emmanuel. Thank you for the call. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion and we'll be taking your calls 089 110 4210. This is question time.
Another round?
When we were little, life felt big, with something new to discover around every corner. Yet somehow, living small became the norm. Until we remember how great living big really is. At Macro, we're still big on being big. Big on convenience, experience, range, and savings. Big on the moments that matter. Rediscover how beautiful it is to be big on life.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today, Mzwanele Manyi, is the leader of the Decolonisation Foundation, and Rooyen is the head of legal and investigations at Corruption Watch, and Archie is in Welcome. He's our caller.
Mzwanele and the lady, good day to you all.
Good day, Archie.
My question, Elena, number one is, we always say who is policing the police.
Okay.
But now, my question is that now, who is to it about public protector? Follows what has got to be followed. For example, the list of the complaints of the request to her office. Who makes it a point that now all of these are looked into? Their importance. For example, there's a municipality around us now, legally put a district municipality, where I know that now the workers have had 1,001 complaints to the public protector's office, but now there's no stage where they were told about what is happening with the issues. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Archie, for the call. Well, I think that's one other challenge that faces the new public protector, Busi, that is, to say you not only need to deal with, the Mpos of this world and the Manyis of this world who will also get you some media mileage, but that Gogo Dlamini, which Advocate Madonsela always referred to, needs to be also considered.
Yeah, no, I think that's correct. And I think this is actually one of the things that parliamentarians have been saying to Thuli Madonsela to say there are certain things that are best dealt with by the other arms of the state. The fact that you've reported something to the public protector does not mean that it's going to be dealt with by the public protector.
Yeah.
The public protector can advise that, okay, this matter, I'm handing it to this Chapter 9 institution or that authority. So, but if you want to be Superman, Superwoman kind of thing, then that's what's going to happen. Then you're going to be choked. There are many arms of the state that we have that maybe what then the public protector can do is to supervise.
Okay.
Because maybe the reason you didn't go there in the first place is because maybe you didn't think we were going to get any joy. But therefore, we need a public protector that's going to be smart, respect the peers, respect the other Chapter 9 institutions, give work to the others, maybe then just maintain a supervision role on them, and then focus on that which only you should be doing.
Okay. Let's take Freedom. Freedom, you are in East London.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hello, Mbo. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call, Freedom.
Thanks, Mbo. Mbo, I just want to say something.
Yes, go ahead.
You know what? You see this guy, Mzwanele Manyi.
Yes.
I think he's a twin of that guy, Andile, because this guy, we always see we always see this guy even on the other channels. He is having his own agenda. This guy is a poison, man. He don't even appreciate what Thuli Madonsela did on her term. He's always criticizing Thuli Madonsela. This guy is a poison, and that guy the Andile Mkhwebane. Thanks, Mbo.
Thank you very much, Freedom. We've got freedom of expression here. You know.
I think, the first thing that I want to raise is just around kind of the rhetoric around the question about, her having investigated reports in order to get media mileage. I really think we need to take a step back and to look at the way in which her office has functioned. She has, in fact, investigated a lot of the reports around the so-called go-go Dlaminis.
Yes.
And we need to take that into account. We're just not in a position to assess whether there have been these referrals to other organizations. And without that knowledge, without that insight into exactly how the office functions, we really shouldn't be arriving to conclusions.
I want to throw in a curveball here, Mzwanele. What do you think Thuli Madonsela did, which is good, which you appreciate?
Oh, of course, there's a lot of good that has done. We cannot take that away from her. But I think the Decolonisation Foundation is on record that she did not act without fear or favor. There's a whole list of issues. For instance, if you look at the U-turn she made with the DA report of the advertising agency thing with involving Helen Zille, and she issued the interim report, and Helen Zille was ballistic. And all that, and then she made a U-turn. If you look at that interim report and the final chalk and cheese, other people, when they make their comments on the interim report, almost nothing changes. That interim is as good as final. That's why, in fact, even now, I'm not surprised that this report, which she now deems final, for the longest of time, it was meant to be an interim. To be given to other people. Last minute she changes, it becomes final even without the inputs of the others.
Let's take Zuko. Zuko, very, very briefly, you are in, is it Kimberley?
Yes, yeah, I will be very brief.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks for the call, Zuko.
Okay. I just like first, hello?
Yes?
I just like first the way that woman said, the lady next to Mr. Manyi said, she demanded respect.
Which he apologized.
Yes, but Mr. Manyi, I think he is just, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm saying Mr. Manyi, I think he came in as the plan of Zuma. He's one of his loyals. Like now he's just attacked the former Minister of Finance. And we still remember the open letter the former Minister of Finance wrote to Mr. Manyi. So we're looking at him.
And we know that even now he's just they were buying time so that people like him can come in and raise things that he's raising. We don't take him serious. We know who he is.
Okay.
I just want him to tell him that what he's trying to do will not work.
All right, thank you.
We're waiting for the report of the public protector, and you must just respect the work that Thuli Madonsela has done.
Thank you very much, Zuko. We have run out of time terribly. 10 seconds each. What do you expect out of Busisiwe Mkhwebane?
I expect that she works with the existing office structures, which is already, I believe, quite excellent, and continue the good work that is being done.
Okay. She must stamp her authority and give us a breath of freshness.
Okay, that was question time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. From me and the crew, you have yourself a wonderful time. Have a hot.